Hello, everybody, and welcome to another presentation of the NACL right here on NHL Gamer. My name is Tuki, joined as always by my broadcast partner, Sin. Sin, how are you? The playoffs have arrived.
The playoffs, my favorite time of the year, and luckily we get to see them a lot longer with the length of our seasons here, or a lot more often, I should say. Entourage, Composure, I cannot pick a favorite here. This is going to be a tight matchup.
Absolutely. We got a lot to break down for you. Before we get to that, though, of course, we want to thank you for joining us. Drop the channel a follow if you haven't already. NHLgamer.com, of course. The place for all of your information. Hit us up on Twitter and Instagram as well. And before we get into the action tonight and into the pregame, we do want to remind you that we are working alongside Hockey to Help. Now, Hockey to Help is a 14-day-long series of live streaming hockey action that will benefit the COVID-19 relief efforts of Second Harvest in Canada and Volunteers of America. Both Second Harvest and Volunteers of America provide various food delivery and family services to underserved communities, we'll put it that way, the most vulnerable to the COVID-19 pandemic. Every $1 donation provides 2 meals for a struggling family in North America. Viewers can visit hockeytohelp.net for a rundown of all the prizes up for grabs, including GameStop gift cards, brand new hockey equipment courtesy of Bauer, and signed memorabilia. So again, that is hockeytohelp.net. You will consistently see a link posted in chat. You can also use !charity to bring up that link at any time. Again, any donation is very much appreciated, and we thank you very much for your contributions, and it is an honor to be able to work alongside Hockey to Help. That said, Sin, we are just about ready to go. Excited to see what is going to happen. Again, the playoffs begin, and tonight we cover the first 4 games of a best-of-7 to kick things off between the 4th seed Composure and the 5th seed in Entourage. So let's get you a look at the standings and how everything played out at the end of the season. As there you see, again, the left side of the bracket was where you wanted to be. We will make note, though, that Dahlia should have been in 9th, technically on a tiebreaker, but neither Dahlia or Dog Dads, of course, made the postseason. So the left-hand side of the bracket was where you wanted to be. And again, keep this one thing in mind when it comes to the NACL, and that is that we had a selection show. It was essentially winner's choice in terms of who wanted to play who. So the number 1 seed, Vertigo, they had the opportunity to pick whoever they want. They still decided to go up against number 8, Montage Moments. But the difference here was BBB in second, choosing to take on number 6, Hidden Potential, rather than the 7th seeded Phantoms. So Sin, very intrigued to see how that plays out and whether or not that's going to be a mistake on their part.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see the team call another one out, and BBB did just that with Hidden Potential. And as you said, I'm going to be really interested to see how that series turns out.
Again, one thing to keep in mind, the playoffs are reseeded with the highest seeded team facing the lowest in the next round. Another thing to keep in mind as well, the final 4 are guaranteed prize money. Again, a $4K prize pool with the winning team taking home $2,400. So we'll see what happens. This is a big moment here that you guarantee yourself some money if you're able to walk away with a first round victory. So Sin, with that, we have set the stage. You know the deal, the standings, the playoffs as they are currently established, and again, we'll get you updated results from the other series going on if we are able to do so. But for now, we focus on the task at hand, the 2 teams that we're covering tonight. Again, the 4th seed in Composure and the 5th seed in Entourage. As you get a look at the lineups, in, of course, there is a lot to break down in terms of what stands out, talking points between 2 established teams, 2 previously successful teams. I think the team stats as well will really showcase that as we look to get into the individual matchups as well. But I'm excited for this matchup, again, for a variety of different reasons.
Yeah, and the season series, of course, had to go to a split. That's just how, close these 2 teams are. Entourage won the first game 4-2. Composure taking that second one 3-2. And, in game 1, Henry tied it with 2:30 left, only for Nick to come back and score with 38 seconds left. I mean, this is going to be a matchup with a lot of fire to it, and I can't wait for it to get going.
Absolutely. Let's get a look at the individual team stats here before we get into the breakdowns. Again, a lot to talk about there. If we have it available, we might just jump to that individual center matchup, which of course is always what we look to do. And there we go. We'll take the individual center matchup. Fine by me, of course. Still be able to break down those team stats for you. Same, when we get a look at these two, Jay Claus and Nick, as we'll be calling him, because Mr. Hit That is a little bit tough to break out in the throughout the course of a game. But the stats here, they're a little bit one-sided. Does that tell the whole story?
I think it tells a lot of the story, but part of the story that we know of is Entourage. They, throughout the course of this season, used kind of a fair amount of subs and a lot of different lineup changes. Now, whether that was due to chemistry or scheduling concerns, we don't know. But yeah, you cannot deny Nick just with the insane stat advantage there. I mean, over 2 points per game, and has the advantage in the faceoff dot, 56.2% on the draw, as opposed to J Claus, 43.7%.
As we talk about, again, the center matchups always crucial when it comes to a league of this caliber. A lot to talk about in terms of Entourage and the amount of games played as well from each of their members. But indeed, when you talk about Nick and when you talk about the rest of the offense surrounding Composure, the point totals are a massive talking point, as you see here. Beyond impressive to see these numbers from the Composure lineups in.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it just seems like these guys scoring goals is just what they do. And I mean, it was good enough to give them first in goals for per game with 3.58. But yeah, I mean, both their wingers over a goal for per game, and you need to have goal scoring wingers in it. It helps Nick out there, as he's more of a playmaker. It helps him, not feel as pressured to be able to put on the offensive show to be scoring those goals. He can play more of that two-way game, but at the same time, no slouch himself. On the flip side, though, Henry and Fisher, very good at production themselves. I mean, you can't take away from that fact. 39 points, 41 respectively, and their transition game very strong. So look for the speed on the wings there from those two to really spring the offense of Entourage.
Absolutely. And again, when you can look at that Composure offense, it's not surprising that they did outshoot Entourage. They led in time on attack in the regular season matchup, but anything can happen between these two teams. We've talked about it before, the years of history with these two clubs going head to head. It's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. Let's take a look at the defensive matchup as well for Composure. We have official Mark and the assistant captain Odie. For Entourage, it is George and Regs. Now, Sin, more defensemen involved here that can put up points, and in impressive fashion.
Yeah, and that's, more of a difference that we see from NA as opposed to, the European side of things, that usually in NA, both of the defensemen very capable of scoring points, very capable of moving that puck up. And it seems like, they both have very solid two-way games. And, when it comes to Odie and Regs, you could say those are, the guys that you look to produce those points, but their partners there, no slouches either. 22 assists for official Mark, 23 points, 5 goals for George over there. I mean, you cannot forget about these guys on the back end because they will make you pay.
Absolutely. But standing in the way of two high-powered offenses, that brings us to the goaltending matchups here. The captain of Entourage, Roberto Luongo style. It's Shekel leading the way. On the flip side, though, we have Hart, Sin, a very impressive 7 shutouts in 24 games for Composure's netminder.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely insane. First in goals against, first with those 7 shutouts. I mean, he is pretty elite. His save percentage is a bit on the, lower side, but he didn't face nearly as many shots as Shekel did. I mean, Hart faced 199 over the course of the season. Shekel faced 250. So, I mean, the discrepancy there is, quite a bit, especially when you look at the games played differential. Hart played 2 more games, but Shekel, some would actually describe him throughout, the NA scene as the best, or if not the best, one of the top 3 hands down goaltenders when it comes to it. And his track record doesn't lie here. Hart, can he step up in this situation, or will Shekel's experience kind of give him the edge?
You talked about top 10 goaltenders. Let's actually get a look at the top 10 goalies right now. And when it comes to both of these two, no surprise, I would say, to see them closer to the top. Shout out to Chris with the 2 games played. Impressively done for Code of Conduct. But yeah, you take a look at Shekel, as you mentioned. Again, very impressive numbers across the board. 14 wins in those 22 games. Again, arguably the top save percentage, I would say. I mean, General was up there as a starter as well. For the other two, really the top 3, of course, more backups in terms of the workload. But you're looking absolutely at 2 of the top 5 starting goaltenders in the league this season. Very intrigued to see how Hart is going to do as well. He is one of our main focused upon players for this series. Again, 7 shutouts, absolutely spectacular. And then if you want to talk about the top 10 skaters as well, a lot of talking points there, but mainly with the front 3, as we've already discussed. Tendy, Marco, and Nick just absolutely running the league. The only 3 players to break the 50-point mark. And as you see there as well, Tendy, 35 goals in 24 games. Beyond impressive. Sin, we, I believe, have the opportunity to get a look at the team stats as well, which again, only further goes along to help tell the story of these teams and this season as you get a look there. And again, really the story of this series is going to be whether or not Composure's offense can maintain that ridiculously high standard that they set in the regular season.
Oh, yeah, and it's ridiculous. And the fact that these guys came in 4th place when they boasted the #1 offense and the #2 defense is almost a bit of an anomaly, but it could come down to maybe a clutch factor. Who knows? But we know Entourage, very good opportunist, able to score on the transition. And the 2 numbers, I mean, they're pretty comparable when it comes to goals for, goals against. Not too big of a spread, and except for in terms of that goals for, but the special teams, Composure, the distinct advantage right there. So if this series starts to become a special teams battle, look for Composure to sort of get the edge.
Absolutely. That brings us to our keys to success for each team. I'm going to start off with Entourage on this one. And again, we'll start off with Composure. That works too for me. It works out. It's all good. Hey, it's one of those things you just got to roll with. But starting off with Composure, again, you're talking about a team that has that familiarity in terms of being an established EASHL club that are still going today. Multiple Sixes titles under their belt and looking to add an NACL title to that list. But our first point here and the first key to success is quantity over quality. Now, traditionally, Composure have played a slower style. They're willing to dump and chase, could turn up the aggression on the forecheck if the space was there. But the biggest change to their style this year, at least recently, has been their willingness to throw pucks on net from anywhere on the ice, resulting in them leading the shots on goal category. 372 shots in the regular season, 90 more shots than the team that was in 3rd, for example. So a lot of shots on goal. We'll see, though, if they continue that style of just pucks on net and see what happens. But I have a feeling they're going to, Sin, because the result of that new aggressive style, we saw it in terms of the top 10 scorers in the league. It's Tendy, Marco, and Nick. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in points. Tendy and Marco were 1st and 2nd in goals. Nick led in assists. Tendy and Marco both had 7 game-winning goals. Odie, an official mark on defense, top 5 for points. I'll be intrigued to see if we see that full offensive firepower on display. And the last point, Hearts on fire. We talked about the 7 shutouts on the year for the goaltender for Composure, but this is one of, if not his first big playoff matchup, his first biggie, as we call it in the scene. We'll see whether or not the experience plays a factor. It may or may not. I'm intrigued to see how he will do tonight. Again, covering the first 4 games of this best of 7 series. Of course, you can catch all the playoff action on Sundays and Tuesdays, as that brings us over to the keys to success for Entourage. Sin, what do you got for us?
Well, the first key here is to keep it over 50. Entourage, they play a very fast and sometimes suffocating style. Their transition game is probably the strongest part of their game. So we're going to see if they're going to be able to make the most of their chances with that high pace of gameplay and kind of, try to put Composure on their toes and counter their aggressive play style with a very quick transition game of their own. brings us to our second point of getting the reps in. We touched on it a bit earlier when we were looking at the lineups. Entourage only really has regs on towards the top of the stats leaderboard. They relied pretty heavily on subs here. And you know, some might speculate that Entourage would have been higher in the standings if they went with, you know, a more consistent, you know, top of their game lineup. So you cannot see the 5 seed and think, oh, maybe they're an underdog. No, Entourage is an exceptionally strong team, and they are here to show that. The last point here, creativity. The face-off battle is going to be absolutely huge. We touched on it before. Nick for Composure actually leads the league, 56.2% on the face-off, and J-Claws finished at a 43.7%, and that could be a pretty big factor here, as we know that Entourage has a lot of set plays off of the face-off, and if they're going to want to, you know, utilize some of those to throw Composure off and get the advantage, J-Claws is going to have to win some of those face-offs. So we'll see if he'll be able to do that in this series.
Absolutely. So, Sin, as we are just about ready to go for the beginning of this series. Again, the first 4 games in this best of 7 in the first round. As we mentioned, top 4 teams walk away with money guaranteed. So big step here. Get that first round win out of the way. Guarantee yourself some money. It's just up to, you know, from that point on, it's up to you how much you end up walking away with. So very excited to see how this goes. Again, we are just about ready for the beginning of the series. In case you missed it, one more look at the team lineups for tonight. There may be a change towards the back half, and we'll cover that for you as best we can. But for Entourage, of course, we are looking at Hendry, J-Claws, and Fisher up top. Fisher, by the way, winning the Xbox North American bracket in the NHL GWC. Very excited to see what he can do. And of course, you get a full look. And Sin, how do you like that? We're good to go. The teams are ready. We're ready. Let's see if Hendry and Entourage can step up as we talked about. I'm ready for this, Sin. Now, the thing is to mention as well, our expert predicted a 2-2 split. Do you agree with that? How do you think this first game, or really the first 4 games of this series, are going to play out?
You know, I can't help but agree with that, and maybe that's a bit of a wishful thinking. I want to see a tight series between these guys. I want to see it go to 7, and the first step to do that is to get a 2-2 split here. Don't be surprised if we see a bunch of overtimes.
To get one more look at the lineup, Entourage taking their time, trying to get into the offensive zone. As we often talk about, quick puck down the half wall, quickly recovered around the back by Hendry. Loses it. Official mark was there. The neutral zone battle, often a factor in the early stages. Both teams only dump the puck in. We'll see if Composure are able to come up with it. They do. Puck in front, quickly recovered. Now is Fisher trying to lead the way, drops it back to his defense. So in the neutral zone battle, definitely there right now. A little bit of space for Hendry, throws in front, quick pass, he scores! J-Claws finds Fisher, and just like that, the first instance of a team maintaining puck possession through the neutral zone, it results in a goal.
Yep, and that's Entourage's quick strike ability, their transition game. They have it. They've displayed it all throughout this season, and we see it early on here in the first to give them a 1-0 lead.
Andrew not able to make his way past. Fisher has a good snipe. Rebound doesn't find its way home. Great follow-up chance for Hendry there. Another opportunity for Entourage early on. Again, we talked about it, whether or not they'd be able to make the most of their opportunities. So far, so good. Regs looks to lead it through the neutral zone. Can't find his man on the pass. This will go down for icing. So again, Entourage, the early goal, the front 3, Hendry, J-Claws, and Fisher working together to find the back of the net, the 5th seed. With that 1-0 lead over the 4 seed, we'll see what happens here on this draw as Regs is able to come up with it off the tie-up. So a good defensive zone draw win for J-Claws. We talked about it as well. The face-off's going to be a big factor here. Nick, the centerman for Composure, the top face-off man in the league in the regular season. See how the matchup goes as Regs has it. Looking for a bit of space. Dishes it back down low. Chance in front doesn't go. Regs recovers over to Fisher. Big save by Hart early on. Getting one back. George has it now. Chance backhand. Doesn't take the shot. Throws it back across. Still Entourage battling for it. J-Claws not able to get that pass over to Fisher. Composure around the back of their own goal. Looking to slow it down a little bit. Get a clean breakout. Nick has a bit of trouble. Marco has it poked off of him by Regs. Brings it around the back of his own goal. Saying a very quick start to this first period here. Already halfway through, more than halfway through. As, again, it's Entourage on the attack. J-Claws can't find the space. Let's see what Composure can do on the counterattack. Marco gets it over the line. Tries to find Tendy down low. Wasn't able to do so. We talked about that front three for Composure. Dominant in the regular season. Right now trailing. We talked about it. Can the offense step up? Continue that outrageous pace that they set. Tendy not able to find space over the blue line. Entourage doing a great job of shutting them down so far. We obviously have a long way to go. George and Regs, couple of give and go passes, but no space. Composure shutting down the neutral zone, patrolling their own blue line. Great job to break it up there. Nick has it. Cuts back, looks for space, can't find it. Mark able to recover possession. He'll dump it in. Nick gives chase. Tendy's there with him. Nick has it. Tried to throw it in front. Couldn't find Marco on the pass. Great recovery defense from Entourage. But it's Composure right back on the attack. Mark has it at the point. Back down low into the corner. Now around the back of the net. And cycled back up top. Again, hanging around in the corner. This is Odie. One timer for the point. Deflects wide. A lot of traffic in front. Redirects to the left of Shekel. Now here's Entourage again. Quickly that attack taken away by official Mark. Still in possession. 2.5 remaining here in the first period of game 1. Again, a best of 7 here in the first round. We'll have the first 4 games of this series here for you tonight. As Odie has it, finds Mark on the D-to-D pass. Mark in front, big save by Shekel, and he covers Entourage's goaltender, the captain of the team. Tested early on, spectacular save there though.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Composure needed to start doing. They were really getting hemmed in early on, both with the counterattack and on the forecheck. But let's see if they can finally get their offensive guns going.
Composure not able to make them the most of that offensive chances. Puck dumped in, no icing, a rush to the net. Doesn't result in a goal. Chance for Composure here. Slaps it off the skates of his centerman. Not able to make the play. 6 seconds remaining. This puck on net. Hart dishes it out in front. This one's cleared and Sin. That'll do it for a rapid first period. Entourage have the early lead, 1-0 off a goal from Fisher. Again, 3 shots to 1, I believe, in that first period, but Entourage had the difference maker.
Yeah, and, you know, Composure started to get a bit going there. I mean, but really only a couple shot chances. I mean, we were talking about their aggression and their ability to sort of dictate the pace of play, but it was Entourage throwing that game back at them. Not only was their transition game strong, but they were hemming in Composure into their own zone, and Composure is going to have to kind of, you know, wake up a bit here in the second period and get their own game going, because right now they seem to be very reactionary to what Entourage is doing instead of being proactive and trying to throw their game into Entourage's face. So we'll see if they make some adjustments here to do so in this second period.
Let's see, he was able to regain control. We fully expect that front three of Composure. They're on the attack here early on. 2 battle back, as this one's going to be offside early on. A friendly reminder, this stream brought to you in part by hockey2help.net for all the information that you need in chat here on Twitch. !charity for more. As again, great bit of aggressiveness by Fisher off the face-off. Chance can't get the shot on target from what I could tell. Huge moment there, though, again, for Entourage. As Regs looks to settle it down, tries to find a soft spot in the neutral zone. He's unable to do so. Composure, you know, dodging a few bullets here. Down by 1, it could be more. Chance for Marco, sends it back down into the corner. Couple of quick passes to try and find space. Odie, D-to-D pass to Mark. Still no shooting lane. Odie has it. Throws one on. Blocked in front yet again, but still maintained by Composure. Not for long. There may have been a wraparound attempt that it just didn't go. Now here comes Hendry yet again for Entourage. That attack didn't sustain for that long. Again, the neutral zone battle presenting itself. Nick able to find his way into the zone. Now recovered by Marco to hold it in. Tries to go over to his winger. Unable to do so. And here comes Hendry. That burst of speed. Fisher still has a chance. Poked away by Odie. And expertly done. 6 minutes gone here in the second period of game 1. Puck dumped in by Odie to Shekel's right. A little bit of trouble for Regs, but he's able to recover. And ultimately dish that one out. Tries to send it up the ice quick. We see that fast style of play. But Composure sensing it coming. Bit of space here now for Tendy down that left-hand side. Back in front for Mark, or for Nick, excuse me. Not able to get that pass, though. J-Claws unable to do the same. So seeing a lot of broken plays right now through the neutral zone and, you know, leading into the offensive zone.
Yeah, and Composure was doing a good job when they were slow it down and get their cycle going. Let's see if they do that here on the entry.
Marco has it, throws one on. Tendy, the opportunity on the rebound, just couldn't find the space. Dishes it back up to the point. Odie loves to pinch down into the corner and make the pass. He's just unable to find the proper target there. Here comes Hendry yet again. Bit of space in the middle. Loses the puck on the double team. And here comes Marco, forced to throw it back. Great job by Regs, kind of limiting that transition offense space here. Can't get the shot off. Excellently done by George to take away that pass. Hendry able to find Odie. Well, not Odie, excuse me. Able to find Regs on that shot. Still, no second goal from Entourage thus far with the fast-paced action, and unfortunately with how quickly or how much involvement that Regs and Odie have, as a shot on here is stopped and covered by Hart. So I think that's the tough problem that we both faced here, with Odie and Regs being as prominent offensively as they both are. Easy to get the two confused.
Definitely. And, Composure doing a much better job in this second period, getting, some of their own attack. And I feel like it's just a matter of time right now before they're able to score. But Shekel doing a great job of holding the fort down right now.
Puck now in the offensive zone again for Entourage. Thrown in front. Shot on. Hart was able to keep that one out as well. Let's see what Composure can do on their counterattack. Marco finding space. Hits Tendy. Shot on. The rebound was there. Ultimately recovered and buried. Marco able to pick it off the stick of the defenseman. And Composure have their goal. They tie this one on another kind of broken bang-bang play. Call it what you will, but the rebound ultimately works.
Yeah, Marco, great awareness right there, kind of just driving the net, and that's the aggression from Composure that we need to see, and that's what they need to do to, come back in this game. They've tied it up now. Now let's see if they're going to be able to keep their foot on the gas and start getting the advantage here. Let's see if their cycle game really comes into play.
Puck carried over the line. Tendy has it in the corner. Gets hit by George. We'll see what Entourage can do in response. And the answer is not much. Quickly losing it once they step over their own blue line. Tendy has it here. Can't get the shot on. Rebound chance from Marco. Again, so another opportunity with the puck just drifting in front of net. They almost took advantage of that one. Tough luck for Hendry, not able to pick that one up. The Entourage attack ends. Let's see what Composure can do on the counter. Mark has time and space. Gets it over the line. Marco dishes it in front. Now back into the corner. Regs is there. Can he find the stretch pass? Couple of quick shorter passes instead. Bit of space for George. Steps up. Scores! The defenseman makes it happen. George out of nowhere. All the space in the world. He did spend some time at the wing in the regular season. That's his 6th goal of the season, or would have been 5 goals in the regular season, 1st goal of the playoffs.
And that is why you cannot forget about those defensemen back there. They can join the rush just so quickly. George did that, and, we saw Composure kind of lost contain on him, and that allowed him to sneak on towards that left-hand side and have an open shot opportunity. I think he was able to sneak that 5-hole, if I'm not mistaken. Hard to tell without the replay there, but here he comes again.
Bit of space again for George. Has it down low in the corner, able to dish it back to the point to Hendry. Looks for space to shoot. Gets blocked in front. Tendy now in response has Marco with him. Marco dishes it back to the point. Gets it back again. Throws it in front. Loose puck scramble. Recovered by Entourage. Here comes Hendry yet again. Finds Reg stepping up. And ultimately, that'll do it for the second period. Kind of an unceremonious end to the second period of play. But Composure able to do what they had to do. Sin, close game.
Very close game. I like the response from Composure, but once again, we're just seeing that quick strike ability from Entourage, just their efficiency when it comes to the offensive side of things. And on the flip side, Composure is supposed to be that, forecheck and grindy type style, dump and chase, recover the puck, hem you in. It's displayed there in their time and attack, but Entourage was able to do that quite effectively too. Not so much there in the second period, but in that first period, they're just completely all over them. And then in the second period there, at the end there, George, what a play by him to get the lead on the transition once again. In Composure, they still have their work cut out for them here.
Entourage back in control of this game. And we'll see if they're able to hold on to a bit of space here for Hendry. Chance scores! Glove side that quickly. We talked about Entourage and their fast style of play. It pays off again. And Sin, the 5 seed, taking it to him right now. It's 3-1.
Yeah, it just seems like the pace just keeps catching Composure off guard. And we talked about Hart earlier. Such a good regular season. We, hypothesized that maybe he's not 100% used to these big pressure games. And
shot on and a glove save there by Shekel. Sin, of course, we try to get you the opportunities to speak, but sometimes the impatience of these big games. You know, what are you going to do? We'll try to help you get a word in edgewise when we can. Puck recovered around the back of the Entourage goal. Again, now up 3-1. Here comes George. Has a goal in this game. Dumps it in. Hendry recovers, takes the hit, though. Again, a little bit surprising. Composure in possession of it right now. We talked about it. Their offense, the front three, the top three scorers in the regular season. But right now, the offense going the other way. See what Composure able to do here, though. Tendy has it. Can't find the pass in front. Goes around the back of the net. Now dish back to the point. Pinch in. Puck in front. Loose. Oh, scramble for it somehow. Doesn't find the back of the net. Still fought on for a chance. Still loose. The opportunity is there. And somehow Composure can't find the back of the net. Shot. Deflection covered by Shekel. Good bit of offense there from Composure, but just not happening for them right now.
Yeah, we're really seeing just how lethal they can be in that offensive end, and they want to take another look at that. I'm with them. How did they not score? One big part is Shekel positioning on point, just so calm in that crease, moving just where it needs to be. You see that big toe save from him right there on Tendy, and Tendy just can't believe it at that point. 2 whacks at it, 2 saves. Shekel showing why he's a champion and why his team is considered by some to be the best in NA right now.
Tough to catch some of those saves when they are as lightning quick as they are. Shekel, a phenomenal job of keeping his team up by 2. See the face-off battle perhaps closer than we would have expected. Clean win, though, for Nick. Chance shot, big save by Shekel again, robbing Marco off the set play. Now back to Marco behind the back of the net. Couple of quick passes. Not able to find the target, but still in possession. Composure working it around, trying to get their way back into this one. Odie has it, takes the hit, still has possession. Looks to find Mark, he does. Will Mark have space? Marco can't get the pass in front. Marco has it again, still can't get the shot off. Marco robbed by Shekel. What a save yet again. Composure, the frustration has to be coming through right now as we approach the halfway point of this third period. Shekel doing everything he can to keep Entourage on top in this one.
Yeah, Composure throwing everything, and I mean everything they have at him. And he's just so calm back there and making every big save.
Bit of space for the front three of Entourage. Fisher dishes it back to the point. Regs finds George, D to D. Cycled down low again. You see the quickness, the pace, trying to get Composure moving to open up these lanes. Regs has it back down low again, and if anything, this is killing time as well. Loose puck is recovered by Composure. 7:40 to go, running out of time, down by 2 here in game 1 of this best of 7, the first round of the NACL playoffs. Odie has it in the corner, looking for space again. One-timer save by Shekel again, robbing Nick. Marco still has it. Second chance doesn't go. Poked away at the last moment. Regs is able to clear this one out. Gets it to Fisher. Can he hold on to it? He does, and he'll draw it back. 5.5 to go. Entourage looking good in this first game. Just a few minutes away from picking up the W. Chance here, though, for Nick. Poked away. Reg still fighting for it. Now ultimately recovered by J-Claws. Again, every second winding down. Big turnover there, though. Chance for Marco. Shot doesn't go. 3 minutes remaining. Will they have another opportunity here? A couple of risky passes. Entourage get away with it. Bit of space for Hendry now on the counterattack. Big spin. Has a chance. Just wide. Hit the post. From the looks of it, it's nearly iced by Entourage. Hendry, a spectacular individual effort. Sent into the corner. Recovered by Nick. Dishes it back to the point. Odie's shot doesn't get through. Regs is able to pick it up. 1.5 to go. Hendry has the one-on-one with Odie. Can he find the space? Gets it back. Shot saved by Hart. Final minute of play. Composure, the most dominant front three in the league, is really the only way to phrase it. Held to just 1 goal thus far. Can Entourage hold on? Thrown in front again. Hendry recovers. Odie on the pinch, not able to recover it. Here comes Regs over the blue line now for Entourage. He'll dish it low. Fisher's there. Fought on by Odie, but still Entourage in possession. Fisher on the half wall, killing time. 3 members of Composure there to dig it out. Final 25 seconds here. Puck over the line. Tendy has it. The captain looking to make something happen. He can't do it. The front three recover for Entourage. Here comes Hendry. Not able to get the shot on. Mark has it. Running out of time. Turned over again. sent down by Fisher, poked away, and Sin, that'll do it. Impressively done. Entourage with a great effort, perhaps no better effort from the man between the pipes with Shekel. Entourage take game one by the score of 3-1, again holding one of the league's top offenses, the top offense in the league, to just 1 goal in this opening game.
And a little bit of the old disrespect there at the end. Hendry hitting someone with a huge hip check and laying him flat on his belly. But yeah, you said it. Shekel was unreal there, especially in that third period. In Entourage, quick transition game, maybe a bit of a slower start from Composure. They wanted to maybe trap it up and see what Entourage was going to do, but getting behind early against a team like Entourage is never a good idea. In Composure, we saw just how good they can be when they're aggressive, when they're getting that cycle going. It's just that in that case, Shekel was just simply better. And I think in the grand scheme of things in that game, when it came to the goaltender matchup, I think there's a big, huge discrepancy there. I think Hart was maybe a little too aggressive and a little too jumpy, sliding back and forth. That shot that went top corner, he slid the wrong way. And even towards the end there, he was sliding out when that puck trickled and hit the post. I mean, just maybe a bit of nerves getting to him right now, as we, theorize there could be, but he's going to have to try to settle down here in game 2, be a little bit better. But Composure have to get off to a better start as well. It's not all on Hart back there. They put themselves in a hole early. And when you're playing catch up like that, a hot goaltender can beat you, and that's exactly what Shekel did.
Again, we talked about it leading into that game, leading into this series. Hart was a bit of a question mark, again, in terms of being a capable goaltender. He's certainly that. 7 shutouts in the regular season, as we talked about. But in terms of the biggies, certainly not the same amount of experience as Shekel has on the opposite side. And with everything you just pointed out, I think that really started to shine through. But by no means is that a major area of concern. It is certainly something that can be fine-tuned here through the back half of this series. Again, it is a 7-game series after all. That was the first game. We still have 3 more for you in this broadcast. Going to be very excited to see how this plays out. Again, for the bracket, this is at the very least the series you want to win. You want to win the whole thing. But you move on to the Final Four, you're guaranteed some money, as we talked about. This is the series that you at least want to, you want to get that notch on your belt and then look to move on and build from there. So we still have a long way to go in this series, and we will ultimately see how it plays out. And Sin, I don't think we're going to have to wait too long before the start of the second game. So again, just a friendly reminder, with this stream, we are working alongside Hockey to Help. You can find out more information at hockeytohelp.net. Of course, you've been seeing it pop up in chat as well right here on Twitch as far as the information that you can get. I'm looking to raise some money for a very good cause, of course, helping to, build up some funds for the COVID-19 relief and everything, both in the U.S. With Volunteers of America and Second Harvest in Canada. So you can check more, check out, the more options that you have by clicking the link in chat. Every donation helps, no matter how much I might kind of stammer through that point, but that's okay. It's okay. You want to make sure you get the right information out there. It's for charity, people. It's for charity. So, Sin, as we get ready for the second game, again, going to be very intrigued as you get a look at the updated bracket. They're going to be intrigued to see how this plays out. Of course, we talked about it as well with this playoff bracket. Very intrigued to see what happens in that matchup at the bottom between BBB and Hidden Potential. A friendly reminder that for the first round, you do have the selection process where the top 4, or really the top 3, were able to choose who they wanted to take on, and BBB elected to take on Hidden Potential rather than Phantoms. We'll see if that backfires on them. But for now, the only result that we have in Entourage, of course, that 3-1 victory in game 1. Again, game 2 coming up in just a matter of moments, literally, because we are good to go. Now, Sin, again, our expert predicted a 2-2 split. You said you think it was going to happen. Do we see a victory here to make it 1-1? Do Entourage go up 2-0? How do you see this one going down?
Well, I mean, if Shekel can play as he did in game 1, it's going to be a tough mountain to climb there for Composure. But for Hart, he's got to feel like he's got, nowhere to go but up. He's going to put that one behind him, get better, and we're going to see Composure's, front three really have a bone to pick in that one. They were frustrated not being able to score. They are going to come out hard.
Again, Entourage in the white and blue, Composure in the black and gold, and in possession of the puck here. As Sin just mentioned, for the league's top offense to be held to 1 goal, you have to expect that bit of extra aggressiveness. Marco has it along the half wall. A little bit of trouble there with Regs. Recovered by Nick. Can't find an open man on the pass. Again, it was the early goal for Entourage that kind of set the tone. Let's see who strikes first here. Crucial goal to really set the tone for this second game. This puck's dumped in. We'll see if Composure's able to recover it. Unfortunate bounce just out of the reach of the captain, Tendy. Fisher has it now. Shot on. Saved by Hart. Good to get that first save out of the way. Chance for Regs to try and crash. He can't do it. He still has it, though, after the turnover. Dish back to the point. George looks to step in. Now brings it around the back. Couple of quick passes. George gets laid out on the hit. Excellently done. Here comes Composure on the counterattack. Marco, a little bit of space. Gets it back for Nick. Circles back, looking for space around the back of the net. Still can't find a lane. Odie now at the point. Looks to step in, shot, never finds the net, deflects out of play. We'll have a crucial face-off here in the early stages of this game in the offensive zone for Composure. Again, still on the hunt for that consistent goal-scoring threat. Just 1 goal in the opening game. Chance, shot, glove, save by Shekels. So nothing going there from Tendy. Again, we talked about it, Tendy. First in goals in the regular season. 35 goals in 24 games. Just not able to pick the corner there.
Yeah, but it's a much better start here from Composure.
Bit of space. Second chance. It finds its way in. You talked about it's in a much better start. Not the type of goal you'd necessarily expect. Not as pretty as you'd want it to be, but every goal counts. Composure on the board. That goal is going to be Tendy's.
And that is why you just throw the pucks on, and that's why leading the regular season in shot helped out Composure so much. We see it there. Anything can happen. The puck can bounce. You can get a rebound. Sometimes it'll trickle in, and Shekel got caught sliding right there. 1-0 Composure.
And he has it back, throws it in front, nobody home. One of these days, Sim will have the replays available for all these beautiful people joining us on this broadcast. But for now, we'll just throw shade at the teams for not being able to control themselves as the puck turned back over at the Composure blue line. See if they can build upon that opening goal. Puck dumped in off the back of the Entourage goal. Regs is there. Good bit of patience. Takes his time. Finds the secured outlet pass. Hendry drops it back. Nobody home as we're halfway through this first period. Again, Composure, the opening goal from Tendy. So this one is offside. So as we talked about, it's in a much better start for Composure here.
Yeah, much better job clogging up that neutral zone too. Entourage is having a tougher time of getting those break-ins and those quick transitions here, and that's what Composure really lacked in the first period of last game.
Odie tries to find the pass. He gets it to Tendy. Bit of space here around the back. Wraparound chance doesn't go. Puck still loose and fought on for. Jay Claw is able to come up with it. Finds the pass up to Hendry. See if he can find the opening. He can't. Slows it down. A couple of quick passes. Still no space. Regs back in possession. Gets it back for Jay Claus. And again, an offside call on Entourage. So not able to find the gaps at the blue line to get into the offensive zone as cleanly as they were in that first game.
Yeah, and that's a big part of their game that Composure's neutralizing in with that face-off. Nick perfect in the dot so far. Another thing that they didn't quite have. It was pretty even last game in the face-off circle.
Again, puck recovered in the neutral zone here by Tendy. Dishes it off to Odie. No space on the double team, but still has it. Looks for the space. Looks to bring it in. Saved by Shekel. Robbing Odie on the step up. Talk about how much his defensemen love to get involved. Huge hit there. Composure back in possession and staying on the attack, but offside on that attempt. 5:21 remains here in the first period of game 2. Again, Entourage up by 1 after a 3-1 victory in that first game. Of course, the first 4 games covered for you here in this best-of-7 series. And a chance here now. Hendry tries to throw it in front, can't do it. Puck off the pads of Hart. I think it was a registered shot attempt. Let's see what Composure are able to do here on this counter-attack. The chance for Odie. Down low now for Tendy. Circles back in the corner, back to the point. Poked away, though, by Fisher. The front 3 of Entourage. So, consistently ever-present is the best word to describe it in terms of just water bugging around. The opportunity there for Tendy again doesn't go, but with those faster builds that you see Hendry and Fisher use, they'll just take advantage of the space. You see George stepping up there, not able to make the most of that play. A lot of space here for Tendy, poked away by Reg. Spectacular defense on display there for Entourage to take away the rush. Hendry has it, cuts out, shot, rebound wasn't there. Good save by Hart. Marco sends it back down. Again, final minute of the play. It's a quick minute. We'll see if Composure can do anything here on what's probably the last rush. It's offside. 8.4 remaining. We'll see what happens here on this draw. Hell of a time for Entourage to get a rare face-off win here in this first period to try and neutralize a final attacking opportunity for Composure, but they're not able to do it. They win it back, though. Regs has the space. Fisher tries to throw it on. Blocked. And very well blocked, I should add, to take away that final chance. But Sin, Composure, strike first in an interesting first period.
Yeah, and we can really see the difference here, as that was a bit of a slower paced period, which I think favors Composure more. They can win those face-offs. They have, more of the puck possession style game. They're more aggressive on the forecheck. Entourage really like that high pace, and it feeds their transition game. So I think that slower period definitely benefited Composure there, especially with Nick. I think he went perfect on the face-offs that entire period. They outshot them. They outpossessed them by, I think, double in each category just about. So that was a picture-perfect period for Composure. But, probably still want to build on that lead a bit more. 1-goal leads, never safe at this level.
We often talk about it. You can have as good of a start to a game through the first period, even through the first 2 periods of a game, as you want. But unless you have the security on the scoreboard, it doesn't really matter. Save early by Shekel. Taking away that opportunity. Still fought on for, though, by Tendy. Regs is able to come up with it. See what Entourage are able to do here on the counterattack. Jay Claus able to find Fisher. Can't get the shot off. Jay Claus has it. He gets the shot off. Glove save by Hart. I think he tried to catch the cheating there, so.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And why not? I mean, throw stuff at the net. Last game, we saw Hart kind of maybe over-sliding a bit too much. Entourage throwing that puck on, and on the flip side, they just kind of need to throw pucks on.
Big face-off win. We see one of those set plays. Jay Claus still has it, not able to get a follow-up shot off. Chance for a Hendry, can't get the shot off. So a couple of opportunities there for Entourage, just not able to make the most of them. But again, an example of if they do win the face-off, if Jay Claus is able to win one, they can easily throw a play off, really, on any offensive zone opportunity. Chance here for Tendy, brings it down in the corner. Now again, back to the point. Odie throws one on just wide of the glove side. Marco looked to recover, wasn't able to do so. Entourage back in possession. Trying to get that quick rush up the ice, that fast style that they love to play, but Composure doing a good job of patrolling the blue line. Fisher bumped off by Marco. Now Composure bring it back into their own zone. Burst to speed to get past Hendry. Odie looks to lead it in, unable to do so. Good defense on there, displayed on that attempt there by George. Once again for Jay Claus, not able to get the pass over to Fisher. So a lot of broken plays right now for both teams. If you're able to execute those passes, the opportunity should be there. This one offside. 12:40 remains in the second period. Sin, what do Entourage have to do to break through? Is it just a matter of completing that last pass?
Well, they are having a better period, but yeah, their execution right now a bit off. But here we go. There's a chance coming down the right wing side for them.
Fisher still has it on the half wall, looking for space. Takes the hit from Marco. Recovered, though, by Jay Claus. Throws it into the corner. Hendry's there. Back for Jay Claus. Big save by Hart. Puck still loose, and Hart is able to cover it as it sneaks ever so close to the goal line. So a good chance there for Entourage.
Definitely, and again, just trying to catch him maybe over committing to one side or the other. The quick one-time back towards the short side. That seems to be what Entourage wants to do here as Nick wins yet another face-off.
Big defensive zone draw win there. Odie not able to find the space. Chance here for Hendry. Can he find the room? He does! What a pass! What a goal! Fisher able to snipe that one home. Entourage tie the game. Sin, just when you think there's no way that pass is going to go through, it does.
Yep, and that's what they needed, just that little bit of extra execution, and they get it. Hendry to Fisher, the one time, almost identical to their first goal from last game, and it's tied up here at 1 as Composure go offsides once again. Now it looks like Entourage, the team really, putting it to Composure at the blue line, not letting them get into that zone. Perhaps Composure needs to kind of go back to that dump and chase and go for some loose pucks.
The face-off one there for Composure, but not able to hold on to it for that long. Let's see what they're able to do here. In the recovery, Marco gets bumped. Now it's Regs back in control for Entourage, looking for that space, trying to build upon that last goal. Again, Fisher, a very versatile offensive threat for Entourage. We talked about winning the Xbox North American bracket for the GWC. So a talented Sixes player and a talented solo player as well. As Regs is able to cut that one out, Entourage, we'll see what they can do. Hendry has the space off the spin, throws it off the pads, and it's poked away by Hart. No opportunity for Fisher there. Regs down low, looking for the pass. Will he find it? Takes his time, tries to find Fisher. Jake Laws has it, throws it back in front. And Mark was there. See what Marco can do on the rush. Gets it over the line, finds Nick. He'll fight for it in the corner with Fisher, and he comes up with it. Back to the point. And again, now down into the corner, around the back of the net. Odie will pinch to retrieve this one. Looks to step in. The one-timer blocked. Nick not able to get that one on target. Entourage back in possession, but again, not for long. Quickly turned back over. Back on the attack here. Now in the corner. The opportunity. Marco throws it in front. Still fought on for. Shot wide. 2 minutes remain. A little bit under 3. So we'll see what happens here in the closing moments of the second. This one's sent in. Hendry gives chase. Not able to come up with it. Here comes Odie, looking for the space, looking for the pass. He finds the space, but doesn't maintain possession. Fisher tries to sauce it in, unable to do so as we approach the final minute of play. Marco, the spin, gets the middle of the ice, finds Odie. What will he do with the space? Shot saved by Shekel. 39.2 remaining here in the second period of Game 2. Another big save by Shekel. He's been as good as advertised thus far through this series. Just 2 goals allowed, not to jinx him. So Entourage get a big defensive zone draw win there. We'll see if they can turn it into offense. The pass doesn't go through. Composure, 6 seconds to work with. They're going to try to make something of it. Odie having trouble in the neutral zone. Can't find his way through. They ultimately don't get a shot off. So that brings us to the end of the second. Tied at 1. Entourage able to even this one up.
Yeah, and a bit of a story of the opposites there. That time it was Entourage getting 4 shots, Composure being held to just 2, and Entourage definitely a better period there, and it shows up on the scoreboard with yet another transition goal, one-timer in that slot that Hart just has no chance on. There's 3 guys surrounding Hendry there, trying to get the puck off of him, and Fisher sort of left alone right there in the slot to get that shot away, and, tough break right there for Hart. Composure, though, I think that they're feeding that transition game a bit too much when it comes to them trying to enter on the blue line. That's what Entourage wants you to do. They force that turnover on the blue line. They can transition. When Composure was dumping the pucks in, chasing those loose pucks, they might not always got it all the time.
It's here, shot, rebound, stopped by Shekel that quickly. Composure generating an offensive opportunity. Marco just not able to find the space. So that's the 2 things about these teams. The speed at which chances can be created. Very, very impressive as Entourage get a free win there. We'll see if they're able to turn defense into offense on this particular attack. Regs takes his time, dishes it off for George. Couple of quick passes. Fisher has it now. Back to the point for Regs, throws it in front. Jake Laws unable to find the pass, pulls the trigger on the shot, and it's stopped by Hart. So a chance for each team here in the early stages of the third period.
Yeah, and a good play right there by Entourage, kind of slowing it down, getting their own cycle game going, trying for those in-tight shots, but Hart swallows it up.
Chance here off the offensive zone draw win, but it quickly goes to waste. Here's Marco now, looking to find space on the counterattack. They're able to time it at the line. Cut back in front, shot on, saved by Shekel. Puck still loose and recovered by Entourage. Hendry able to dish it off. Couple of quick passes. They continue to look for space, but again, the attack quickly cut out. Marco not able to find space on the other end either. So again, a lot of broken plays, a lot of quick possession changes. It's just a matter of who will find the space and can make the most of them. Hendry not able to time that one with Jake Laws. 15-15 remains here. Again, the third period of Game 2. This best of 7 series, the opening round of the NACL playoffs. We will have the first 4 games of this series for you here tonight before we are back on Sunday evening. We'll see what happens here. Again, now Greg's in control, has the space, maintains possession, still has it. Now in the corner, dishes it over for Fisher. Now again, it's Hendry. J-Claw shot just wide of the post. Greg's maintaining possession for Entourage. Shot blocked. Tendy has it. He's going. Can he get the shot off? He does, and a big save by Shekel. What a turn of events. What a play from Tendy. But Shekel able to make the stop on the back end to keep this a tie game.
And a really good job by George and Regs to kind of seal off his opportunities to go forehand or backhand. Good defensive skill sticks. We'll see a transition here from Entourage now.
Fisher over the line, has help. George shot, not able to find it. Still loose, recovered by Composure. Both teams developing chances seemingly out of nowhere. The puck is dumped in by Odie, and they maintain possession. Mark dishes it down in the corner, now around, thrown back in front, nobody home as Regs was there. Here comes Entourage, 9 minutes remaining now in the third period of game 2. A little bit of trouble for Mark, still being fought on for by J-Claws. Fisher recovers, wrap chance doesn't go, loose puck still in front, Hart can't cover it, kicked all the way out to the half wall, where ultimately Marco was able to recover and dish it back to the defense. Another dump attempt here from Mark, but it's offside. Marco will still fight for it. Here comes Entourage, though, in response. Hendry, burst of speed, can't pull the trigger on the shot, still has it. Now around the back of the goal, recovered by Fisher. To the point, Greggs looks for space, tries to throw it in front, he can't do it, still has it now. Fisher sends it around, all the way to George. He'll pinch in, J-Claws at the point covering for him, couple of quick passes. Looking for the opportunity, unable to find it. Good defense there from Odie. Here comes Composure, although that counterattack quickly cut out. Great job on the back check by Entourage, but Composure able to gain the zone. Odie working it around, looking for space, finds Mark, shot doesn't find its target, Nick still has it. Dishes it down low, thrown in front again, shot up by Marco and a save by Shekel. Marco's still in possession, tried to get it back in front, and he couldn't do it. Fisher tries to find Hendry, great job there though by Odie to cut that one out. Still in possession here. Able to work his way in, loses it quickly. Here comes Entourage again. Can they make the most of this attack? Hendry has the space, throws it in front. Fisher scores! Somehow, some way, that pass finds its way through. Entourage take the lead with under a minute to play here in the third.
Once again, another rush goal. Once again, I believe Hendry passing it to Fisher to get the goal, and it's like deja vu for Composure here. They're doing so good, putting so many chances onto Shekel, who shuts the door, and then right back at him. Entourage come down the ice, get that goal, sneaks it through the short side. Again, not much Hart could do there. There was still a backdoor pass opportunity. He couldn't quite hug the post right there, and they pay for it. 2-1 Entourage late here in the third period. Hendry and Fisher, what a duo these two are on the rush.
Fisher strikes again. Hendry on the off wing, brings it down into the corner, finds that passing lane. I was wrong on the time. Composure going to be thankful for that. 1:15 to go on the clock. We'll see what happens here in the closing moments of game 2. As again, another huge goal for Fisher, the leading goal scorer on this team in the regular season. As we talked about it, great team defense from Entourage thus far, shutting down for the most part the league's top offense in the regular season in Composure. We'll see what happens here. That top offense needs to step up right about now, but Entourage in possession. Final minute of play as Fisher will dump it in. Hendry's there, fought on for by Odie. He comes up with it. Huge hit, no penalty on the play. As this one kept in the zone by George. Power play coming here. Entourage going on the man advantage as this one's brought all the way back by Hendry. Don't think he needed to do that. Perhaps a bit of showmanship, bit of sport. A bit of showmanship is the way to go for it. Regs has the space. It's poked away. And with 32.8 to go, it's Entourage going to the power play. Not sure if there was a second minor there or if it is a double minor penalty outright. I'm presuming that there was a second penalty, but regardless, Big moment here for Entourage to ice the game. As time winds down, they win this draw as well. Hendry throws one on. Blocker saved by Hart. Let's see what Composure can do here. Final 20 seconds, down a man. Odie not able to find the space. Regs dishes it out. Fisher has it. Not able to time it at the line. Fisher still has it. Dishes it back to Regs. A little bit of a tour, trying to find the space. Composure back in possession. They can't gain the line clean. Final 5 seconds. Cleared out by George. Entourage pulling off a bit of a surprising result, taking both games on the road to start this series. They are up 2-0. A spectacular effort there. Again, defensively doing what they have to do to shut down the league's top offense.
Yeah, and Shekel again, sort of maybe an unsung hero when you look at how Hendry and Fisher, just how good they are on the offensive side of things. But Shekel made every single save that he needed to and that he probably, quote unquote, should have made. And that's exactly what you want from a goaltender back there. And Composure, once they get that online cycle going, sometimes it is so hard to push them off the puck. They just seem to get chance after chance in tight, close to the net. And Shekel just so calm between the pipes, able to keep them out of the net. And yeah, as you said, once again, Entourage holding the top offensive team to just a goal. That is not something I expected out of this series. I to be honest, I was expecting a game to go be like 5-4, 6-5, like just a back and forth tilt, because you have Composure, who's so good offensively, and Entourage, who has a wicked transition game. And right now, Entourage is just showing why, they were the champs of that cap gaining tournament, and Composure, a lot of work to do to work themselves back into this series.
Absolutely. Again, a lot to talk about, a lot to break down from the first 2 games, a lot to say to set the stage for the next 2. We will be back, however, after a brief break. Stick with us. Don't go anywhere. We still got 2 more games here in this first round matchup to cover here tonight. Again, we want to thank our sponsor, or not really our sponsor, but our partner on this broadcast here, Hockey to Help. Again, Hockey to Help, 14-day long broadcasting, series of live streaming, surrounding the hockey community, benefiting COVID-19 relief from both the United States with Volunteers of America and with Canada on Second Harvest. So again, you can check out hockeytohelp.net for all the information you need. The link is in the chat. It's been popping up consistently. And of course, any donation goes a long way in towards helping people in need, and those in underserviced communities. Of course, again, you can visit hockeytohelp.net. A rundown of all the prizes up for grabs: GameStop gift cards, brand new hockey equipment courtesy of Bauer, signed memorabilia, and potentially more. So feel free to check that out. Again, hockeytohelp.net. The campaign, as pointed out in chat, ends tomorrow. So as you get a look at the updated bracket, again, Entourage taking the first 2 games of this series. Again, for those unfamiliar, there is a selection system for the first round of the playoffs, hence why a BBB, the number 2 seed, is taking on the number 6 seed in Hidden Potential. They elected to do so. So very intrigued to see how that goes down, of course. But for now, of course, we are still covering this first round match between Composure and Entourage and Sin. As we talked about, a lot to discuss. Entourage up 2-0. And really, before we get into talking about what Composure needs to do, what has been the key for Entourage, and what adjustments do they have to make, if any, considering they've shut down one of the league's top offenses?
Well, I think the key for them, they pretty much nailed almost every key right there, besides, maybe the face-off battle, but they played at a high pace. Composure didn't seem to be able to, slow them down for, a long period of time. And we're really seeing that, on that second point. Entourage, they were using a lot of subs during the season, which, people speculated could be the reason they came in 5th. And It's kind of proven to be the case here. Yes, they won those, games by just 1 goal apiece, but they did win those games. These are big games. These are the playoffs. They have a 2-0 lead, over the series. And in this last one, they still were able to show a lot of their creativity. And while it may not have been, on those set face-off plays all the time, they did have a couple of them which looked very good. But we just saw just the creativity, especially from Hendry and George on that left-hand side to, make those rush plays happen, to find Fisher, open in the slot for the one-times. And there was this one play that I wish I could have mentioned, but the game was just moving so fast-paced. Hendry went for the entry and George was with them. George cut towards the middle and actually provided a soft pick, which gave Hendry a ton of room on the left-hand side to open things up. Now, no goal came of it, but Entourage did sustain, a couple minutes of time on attack because of it.
Absolutely. You'll have to excuse me for getting a little bit chippy and chirpy in the chat, but I saw an opportunity and I had to take it. So all in all, again, a spectacular start for Entourage, and we're very intrigued to see how that's going to go down. And as you get a look, these were the keys to success for Composure heading into this series. And I mean, we talked about it, quantity over quality, in terms of the old strategy used to be quality shots only. Then for this season, it's kind of turned into, well, let's just throw everything on net. I'm intrigued to see what happens here because so far they haven't found a way to beat Shekel consistently. Again, shooting the lights out. We talked about the league's top offense shut down thus far. Hart hasn't been bad, but not necessarily on fire for Composure. There you see them in the white. Entourage now the home team for these next 2 games in those spectacular jerseys that you see in here. So again, Entourage up 2-0 in the early stages of this best of 7. Let's see who's able to take advantage. Sin, do you still believe in the 2-2 split coming out of this broadcast?
Well, I'm doing my best, but I mean, holding Composure to 1 goal 2 times. I mean, first time, it's an anomaly. Second time, you may be seeing a pattern developing, and unless Composure really explodes here offensively, I think the best they can hope for here is a 3-1 at the end of today.
The first goal, again, going to be crucial in deciding how this goes. George, the big step up, dishes it around the back. Now again, back to the point. Entourage not afraid to take their time. Thrown in front, scramble for it. J-Claw still fighting, unable to come up with it. Recovered by Odie. Has to find his way over the line, unable to do so. Regs, great job helping out the defense on his offside. Chance now for Nick, takes his time. Back to the point, unable to get the pass through was Mark. Poke check to keep it alive. Mark still gives chase, but J-Claws has it. Dishes it up for Fisher. Stops on the half wall, back to the point. D-to-D, the one-timer doesn't get through. Still fought for off the side of the goal. May have actually hit the target. J-Claws just unable to get a piece of that one. Shot from George doesn't go through. Big scramble of offense there for Entourage. Unable to find the goal. Chance here for J-Claws. Can't get the shot off. Odie was there. May have been trying the tuck, as evidenced by the dive there at the end. As Regs kicks it back to the point. J-Claws intercepts that one. Nearly turned over, but George is able to recover. Still has it in front. J-Claws denied on the one-timer. Good save there by Hart. And it's Composure back in possession, but it's Entourage taking it to them offensively right now.
Yeah, just absolutely on every single front. But here we go. Composure starting to get a little bit of offense here. Can they build it?
Marco unable to find that pass right when it looked like they may have had something to build upon. Fisher recovers this one. He's onside. Burst of speed. Unable to get the pass through. Recovers, though. Still has space. Still has it. Tendy able to recover. Quickly poked away yet again. So Entourage doing a great job right now of controlling the neutral zone. Here's Hendry yet again. Stepping in the middle. J-Claws can't get the shot off. Marco dishes it off to Nick. See what he's able to do here. Can't get the pass over to Tendy. Right now, I'm not sure what's going on really with this Composure lineup. They just seem a little bit off. Here's George, burst of speed, gets it in front, fought for still, and covered by Hart. Somehow, some way, finding it through the traffic.
Yeah, crashing the net literally. 3 black jerseys there in the crease, taking wax on it. One of them face down, and Hart somehow able to come up with that save and get the cover.
Opportunity for George, has the space, doesn't take the shot. Regs is able to maintain possession. You see Hendry dropping back to help out. Regs still fighting for it on the half wall, maintains possession. Looking for that passing lane, perhaps the shooting lane. Still just taking his time. No need to rush it with that collapse. Turnover there, though. Mark has it. Official Mark dishes it off for Nick. But again, quickly, the Composure attack snuffed out. Here's Hendry for Fisher. J. Claw's unable to get the shot off as Odie is able to recover it here. So Entourage looking to be the more deadly of the two teams. Odie will dump this one in. Marco tries to give chase. A bounce. Nick had a chance for it. Unable to get a piece of it. Entourage quickly back in possession. So Composure willing to throw different looks at the opposition, but right now still not finding a way to consistently get offensive zone time.
Yeah,
it
just seems like
here. Not to cut you off, but Nick has it.
Fine.
Odie again. We will get you a word in edgewise one of these times. I promise. Marco not able to get that shot off. Sin, you may have a chance here, although with Hendry, it's tough to say it is offside. Sin, you're free and clear, my friend.
It just seems like Entourage is just getting stronger as this series wears on. The start to this game they've had. I mean, we talked about Composure being more the puck possession style and Entourage being the transition team, but right now Entourage actually dominating the puck possession war as well. I think maybe they took offense to what we were saying and just came out here to prove that they are the jacks of all trades and they can do everything at an elite level. And well, what they've showed in this first period so far, you cannot disagree with them.
Another offside call on Composure here. 2:43 remains. 2:43 to play here in the first period of Game 3 as this goes down for icing. So a big chance on the offensive zone draw for Nick coming up here. See if he's able to get the win and see if that can lead to a goal. Huge moment for Composure. Really needing to get that first goal, being down by 2 in this series. They do win the draw clean. Odie in possession from Mark. One timer doesn't find its way through. Second chance. Nick elected the pass rather than take the shot. It results in a turnover. Minute and a half to play here in the first period. So Regs looking for space. Finds Hendry. Burst of speed. Gets it back to the point. George shot. Doesn't find its way through. Good block by Tendy. Potential 2-on-2 developing, but it took a little bit too much time. Marco hands it right over to Regs. Final 10 seconds. Fisher, pass, doesn't go through. Chance again, scramble and fought for it. Composure, able to hold on. That'll wind down the clock. So a scoreless first period here in Game 3. Not for a lack of trying, but Sin, just 2 registered shots, both in favor of Entourage.
Yeah, and survival right now for Composure. I mean, as Entourage just came out at an insane pace, like we're used to seeing them play, but then for them to also start getting all of these, this offensive zone time too, Composure just seems completely on the ropes and just, stunned right now. They seem like they're almost taken surprised by this Entourage team and just how well organized and how good they are right now. And it's going to be tough for them to, I say come back. I mean, it's a scoreless game, but Composure didn't really do anything of note there in that period besides kind of not get scored on.
We'll see what happens here, and if again they're able to find that offensive touch. Dayclaw's back to George. The shot's blocked, so an early chance for Entourage. Will Composure be able to respond? Marco has it on the half wall. Still battling Regs. Puck thrown across the slot. Nobody home. Tendy sends it down low for Marco yet again. He'll dish it back to Odie. Official mark. The bomb doesn't go through. Next secondary shot. Stopped and covered by Shekels. So, something to build upon. Sin, they get their first registered shot of the game.
Yeah, and their first little bit of zone time. Now, we saw this in Game 1. After the rough first period they had, they started to get a lot better in the second and third. We're going to need to see them play the best 40 minutes of hockey they have in this series thus far.
Mark dumped in by Regs. Quick pass. The opportunity on the doorstep for Fisher. But Hart was able to cover that one. Quick play there. Regs dumps into that left-hand corner. Hendry and Fisher, that quick combination. We know how quickly those two can put a play together. It just didn't happen there. Big face-off win there in the defensive zone for Composure. Again, still looking for a goal. The league's top offense struggling up to this point. Odie shot, save, rebound for Marco. Stopped again by Shekel and covered off the scramble in front. So much better job by Composure here to get these chances early on.
Yeah, and it's not often you see Entourage giving up those second, third opportunities unless they're really hemmed in right there. But who was right there to stop that? Shekel, once again, perfect position to keep the door shut for Entourage.
Composure won that last draw, unable to make anything of it offensively. Let's see what Entourage can do here on this rush. J-Claw's not able to time it right. Fisher will be offside. Exactly 5 minutes gone here in the second period of Game 3. Again, as you see on your screen, Entourage up 2-0 in this first round matchup. We're covering the first 4 games of this series. you make it out of the first round, you guarantee yourselves some money at this point. So, at the very least, get that first round win out of the way. Chance here for Hendry. Back skate to protect, not able to hold on. It'll be another offside call here on Entourage. Again, in the early stages of this second period. Composure. Sin, correct me if I'm wrong. Just 2 goals still up to this point in the series.
You're absolutely correct. And for the top offense, that's just not going to be good enough here in the playoffs. I don't care who you're facing. You got to find ways to put that puck in the net. You can't expect your goaltender to get a shutout every game. So Composure, got to find a way to get going.
We have an incident here. Tendy appears to have dropped, so I suspect we'll have a restart coming up here. Happened to catch that when the puck was in the offensive zone. So, indeed, I suspect the restart will be coming up. Unfortunate moment there. Again, with Tendy dropping, we will get back to the action as soon as we possibly can. So, again, early stages of this first round matchup. Bit of a shame, of course, to always have to rely on a restart, but what are you going to do? So, Sin, unfortunately, in terms of talking points, really the only thing we have to mention is the same thing that we've been, touching upon throughout the entirety of this series thus far, and that is, what came first, the chicken or the egg? What has it been? Is it Entourage's defense, or is Composure just off? Is it a combination of both? But again, we're talking about the league's top offense. Really nowhere to be found thus far. What's your analysis of that? Your analysis, if we will. Yeah. Really, what is it? Like, what is I didn't want to outright say it. What is wrong with Composure thus far?
If I've been trying to, figure that out this entire time here. Sometimes you just have a bad day. But again, when it gets to the third game of this kind of seeming to be the trend here, it's, ceases to be so much on, Composure 100% sure. They may not be having the offensive, day that they want. They may not even be playing as good as they wish. But at the same time, you have to give credit to Entourage. They are on their game, and it's really showing when it comes to, the offense they're able to create, and just the times where they just really seem like they're dominating. And we expected Composure to be, that aggressive team and really able to see that. And I don't feel like we've seen a lot of that. And it's hard to say whether it's just, Entourage moving the puck out quickly, or if it's, their ability to sort of play defense well, or maybe a combination of everything. It's tough for Composure to really get set up. And the times where they do get that sustained pressure, they're whacking away. They're getting those in-tight chances, second, sometimes a third opportunity here and there. Those in-tight passes for the one-timers. Shekel's back there to make the saves. It's just extremely frustrating when you're coming up against a hot goalie, when you feel like you're not getting enough of those offensive chances. When they do come, you're getting, Entourage is getting sort of bailed out there by Shekel with these monstrous saves. And if you're Composure, what do? I'm supposed to, have some kind of analysis on that, but I don't know. What can they do here? Entourage just almost seems unstoppable so far.
And again, with Entourage, we talked about it. The team didn't exactly play together consistently. You look at the lineup for Composure, 24-game regular season. Each and every one of them played in all 24 games. But for the other lineup, it wasn't. I don't think a single member of that team had the full 24 games played, if I'm not mistaken. So it is very interesting. That was one of our talking points with Entourage is, in terms of not having the reps in, would they, still have that chemistry that we expect a team of their caliber to have? Again, you talk about, 3 Sixes titles, one of them being the Caps Gaming Tournament at the end of February. But ultimately, I think this really does go to show one of the other points that we had to talk about. Despite the fact that they ended the season on a 7-4 run, which is, to really put it nicely, there's a reason why they weren't chosen by any of the top 3 in our challenge system. Again, where the top 3 were able to select who they wanted to play. And it is for this reason. They are looking incredibly scary at this point in time, as again, you get a look at the bracket. Number 1 Vertigo, of course, taking on the 8th seed Montage Moment, as you would expect. The only difference was BBB electing to take on 6th seed Hidden Potential rather than the 7th seeded Phantoms. Of course, we'll continue to have updated information on the bracket as best we can. And of course, NHLgamer.com, the place to be for all the information you need, not only on the NACL, but of course the European side of things as well, which Sin and I will be broadcasting a couple of series on Thursday afternoon, if I am not mistaken there. Looking very much forward to that cast as well. So, Sin, we've talked about it as we again try to not necessarily kill a little bit of time, but kill a little bit of time here until the reset is back underway. Very intrigued to see really just how the rest of this series plays out. It is, I don't want to say mind-boggling, but certainly stunning that Entourage have accomplished what they've accomplished thus far in this series. And again, very intrigued to see if they have a way to really build it back. But it's all the more impressive, I would say, with Entourage, what they've been able to do, that it's been a full team effort. The front three's been dangerous offensively, but you look at George and Regs on the back end for Entourage with how much they get involved offensively, yet still really no cracks in the armor on defense. It's just been a extremely impressive performance.
Yeah, definitely. Entourage really seeming like just that complete package on all ends of the puck. And, as you said, the front five, the front three being as prolific as they are offensively, and, the defensive pairing, getting in offensively, but at the same time making great plays to, bail out, help out Shekel back there. And it looks like we're getting into the gameplay. I believe the first period is now going to be considered the second period. So,
indeed, as we continue along, again, keep in mind, still a scoreless game at this stage as Fisher banks it off the swat out of the air by J-Claws. What a save by Hart. So we are quickly back into the action. Jensen, unless I was mistaken, it was a better start to the second period, but still a scoreless game. Appropriate, as you see on the board there. As Fisher has it, slap shot, save by Hart, no rebound. So a couple of quick opportunities for Entourage here, fresh off the restart.
Yeah, and, that's just them doing more of the same of what they get. I was hoping, maybe the break here would help benefit Composure, kind of be able to talk things out, reset themselves, and figure out a new strategy here to throw back at this Entourage team. We'll see if they could do it and start here on this rush.
Mark dumps it in. And this time, though, I do believe, indeed, Tendy not able to get that one. So 13-13 to go here in what we are considering the second period. Tendy managed to, unfortunately, drop during the initial play. So we'll continue to see how this goes, and we'll see how that affects what is now going to be the third period, as that will no longer be a slow minute. A huge hit there as Entourage not able to maintain puck possession. We'll see what Composure can do. Another dump in by Mark. Tendy gives chase. A little bit of trouble. George gets poked off, but still Entourage able to maintain possession. We'll see what they can do. Not much, again, is the answer. Quick possessions, not much of substance has been the answer thus far. The neutral zone battle, a scramble for the puck. 10.5 minutes to go here, and again, what we are considering the second period. Let's see what Regs is able to do. Can he find space over the line? He cannot. Another offside call. 9:58 remaining. Instead, as you mentioned, hope to see a little bit more out of Composure following the restart, but it just didn't happen.
Yeah, just unable to kind of gain the zone cleanly. When they did do the dump, it was picked up quickly, but here's Entourage getting a quick chance back the other way. Can they establish their offense?
The opportunity here for George. Doesn't pull the trigger. Now dishes it back to the point along the half wall. George throws it in front. Never hit the goalie. Hart, though, will ultimately cover it. 8:42 on the clock. Right now, Entourage looking to be the more likely of the two teams to get the opening goal of this game. Big face-off here, though, for Composure. We'll see if Nick can get the win. And he does yet again. Another clean victory for, again, the top centerman in terms of basically everything. We're talking points, face-off percentage as the puck's dumped in. Rex is able to come up with it. Quick outlet pass, finds J-Claws, and we'll see if he's able to work his way through. Hendry has it now, tries to go back to the point. Feeds it straight into the hands of Marco on the other side. Tendy not able to go. We'll see what happens here. Puck forward on the half wall. Marco still having trouble. Entourage come up with it. Chance again. We'll see what they can do. Regs tries to spin in the middle. Scramble for it in front. Fisher unable to find it. They go for the quick outlet. Can they find Tendy? They cannot, as this one goes for icing. 5:39 to play here in the second.
Yeah, they had to try to make that play really quick to be able to spring. I think it was Tendy racing down the middle there, but the angle on the slap was just off. It rings around the boards instead of bouncing out towards the front of the net. So unfortunate break there for Composure. That was one of the few times where they really had a chance to get something going here.
See what happens here. Scramble for it. And ultimately recovered again by Entourage. Chance now for Hendry. He has it. J-Claws looking for space. Loose puck in front. Recovered. Another close call as Entourage continue to try to work their way into the slot for these high-quality chances. Hendry able to get it over the line. Back for George. Shot on by J-Claws. Doesn't find its way to the goal. He's still in possession in front. Opportunity for Hendry, but a big interception. Can Composure take advantage of it? Tendy has it. Throws it in front. Goes all the way back to Odie. Shot on. Saved by Shekel. And he will hold on to it. 2:07 to play here in the second period. Let's see how this goes here. Another crucial draw. Big chance for Composure to get this opening goal that they so desperately need. They win the draw. Odie down low. Now around the back of the goal. For space, Odie can't get the pickup on the half wall. Fisher has the speed to win this race, and he will. Throws it in front. Loose puck. J-Claws has it. Can't get the shot off. Still fought on for. Mark comes up with it. Now it's Marco. Fast final minute. Odie dishes it over to Tendy. Tries to cut back to protect. The loose puck. Still fought on for. Tendy has it. Now it's Marco. 5 seconds to play. Puck in the corner. Tendy. Brody. Shot. Rebound. Controlled by Regs, at least long enough to take the secondary opportunity away. So, Sin, we will go to the third period. Still scoreless in this one. A very close game. Again, a crucial game for Composure. They have to win this one. Otherwise, it's a 3-0 deficit.
Yeah, and that was surprisingly one of their best chances of this game so far. The shot from the point. A bit of traffic in front. 2 guys trying to collapse for that rebound, but Entourage's defense just a little bit faster, as they have been so often, just being able to sweep away those second, third opportunities. And, you know, even when they're not, it seems like Shekel is not going to give up one of those kind of goals here. And so Composure still kind of searching for that offensive fluidity that they displayed all across the regular season. Remember, first offensive team throughout the course of the regular season, and the second best defensive one. They've definitely displayed that, but they still need to get their offense going.
An early offside there. That may have been a record, Sim, for the fastest offside I have ever seen. 9 seconds into the period. Well done on that attempt. You see again, Composure, the advantage of face-offs as we expected. They win another one here. Marco dishes it back. Puck dumped in. Perhaps not by choice. It's recovered by Entourage. George, bit of space to work with. Makes his way past Marco, cannot get past official Mark. Now it's Composure back in possession. Odie, a little bit of creativity, and a tripping call coming up. So for the first time in the series, Composure going to the power play. Again, it's a rare penalty for either side. Huge opportunity for Composure to get back into this game. They win the draw. Quick chance here from Mark. Shot doesn't go through. Regs with the block. Dish back to the point. Let's see what they can do. Odie stepping in. Shot saved by Shekel. Rebound stopped as well. And a face-off coming up. But a good opportunity there early on for Composure.
Yeah, and we talked about it. If this series became a special teams battle, look for Composure to have the edge. Although this is the first power play of any of the games. We're on the third game already, but Composure win another face-off.
Chance here for Rhodey. Will he pull the trigger? Dishes it back to Mark. Shot doesn't get through. Recovered by Entourage and cleared out. Hendry will give chase. Goes for the chop. Not able to get a piece of it. Still fighting for it, though. Odie able to fend him off. 50 seconds to go on the man advantage. Odie for Mark. Quick pass now to Tendy. Tries to go back to the point. A miss pass, and that is a backbreaker. 15 seconds to go on the power play. Just a chance for a rush. Not much time to get established as Mark has it. Can he get it low to Tendy? Goes back to the point. Odie has it, thrown in front, recovered by Entourage, turned back over. Shot glove, saved by Shekel, robbing the captain Tendy with the glove.
Yeah, once again, making the save that he needs to make. And just in perfect position. Composure a bit, you know, flustered right there on that power play with that missed chance, but they have another chance right here after the faceoff win to get established.
See what Mark can do. Shot on, saved by Shekel. Marco can't put on the rebound attempt. Tries to go there, it's blocked. Here comes Entourage again on the attack. Not for long. Composure back in control. Let's see what they can do here. This one's offside. 14-14. Make a wish. Game 3, third period. Entourage looking to take a commanding 3-0 series lead. We'll see what happens here. See how this goes. Another face-off win for Composure. Marco has time and room. Shot on. Doesn't go. Mark recovers. Cycle down low. Get in front. He scores! Unbelievable reaction from Tendy to find Marco in front, and Composure have the lead.
That's just what they needed. I mean, a quick strike, and they're able to fend off the high-flying offense of Entourage early on. And now they have a lead here in the third period. Now, I'm not saying that they need to defend well and just hold it off. I think they still need another one, but this is the best place you found yourself in this series. Just a quick bang, bang play. What we've seen Composure do all throughout the season, that download cycle leads to great offense for them, and not much that Shekel could do in that situation. Made the attempt, couldn't get the save, and Composure here, finally, with their first lead here in this series, and a chance to build on it and come away with an important W.
Huge moment there for Composure to get the first goal of this game. Caught on for by J. Claus, unable to come up with it. Marco, a little bit of trouble on the forechecking pressure from J. Claus, but he does recover. Quick pass to Odie. They lay it off for Tendy. He won't. He takes the hit, but still makes the play. Nick has it. Can't get it down low. Still has it now in the corner. Composure looking for that second goal. Looking for the insurance. See if Entourage can paddle their way back. Try to get that game tied up. Lead opportunity there in front. Try to get this game tied up. Keep the dream of a 3-0 series lead alive. Regs picks this one off. Back down low. Fisher gets the pass. A swing and miss from Hendry. Huge opportunity goes to waste. J. Claus back down low. Hendry still fighting for it. Scramble wrap save by Hart. What a moment there. J. Claus is denied on the wraparound.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. He had the open net. Hart did not quite react in time. J. Claus just unable to bury it right there.
Chance again here, though. Entourage in possession down low around the back. Couple of quick passes. The plays just aren't there. Shout out to my dog in the background. The opportunity now. Puck in the corner. Quickly lost it. Fisher has space. Hendry doesn't send it, though. 7.5 to go. Fisher the toe drag. Can't get the puck on net. Still has it, though. Back to the point. Regs just can't reach for it. 6:50 on the clock. Composure in the lead. Again, this top offense has been shut down. They go for the quick play. Cut off by Mark. The top offense has been shut down, but so far, so good. At least here in this game, as we will see a timeout. Sin, big moment here on this faceoff for Composure.
Definitely, and that was perhaps one of the first moments of desperation we sort of saw from Entourage, going for the Hail Mary kind of Omaha play there at a time you usually don't see it. And in the situation, I mean, Composure's been leading in faceoffs. You just now give them an offensive zone faceoff, but I guess Composure kind of Entourage feeling the pressure here of being down in this series for the first time, just trying to establish a bit more offense there and get this game tied up. But a huge opportunity here from Composure to win this faceoff, establish an attack, and get that insurance marker.
Tie up on the draw. Entourage is going to come up with it. Regs having a bit of trouble off the pressure, but Entourage in possession and out of the zone. Chance for Hendry. Dishes it off for George. Makes his way past. Hendry the chance. Shot attempt doesn't go. Lost it. George's shot blocked. Mark able to recover. Outlet pass for Marco doesn't go. Icing is the call. A Snoop Dogg approved. 4:20 remaining here in the third period, and a big chance now for Entourage to potentially get back into this game. Let's see what they can do here. We know the face-off plays are a huge part of their game, but again, J. Claus just cannot come up with the win. Tendy nearly worked his way through, just unable to do so. Regs on the counter, looking for space. Back for George. D-to-D passes here. Reg still has all the space in the world to work with. Thrown in front, scramble for it. Composure trying to come up with it. Entourage still have it, still fought for it. J. Claus may have hit the post there. That was incredibly close. Marco trying to hunt this one down. The chop attempt unsuccessful. Entourage back in control. Here we go, approaching the final minute. They're running out of time, but this one is going to be iced. So taking a risk, but having confidence in their center, our Composure on that play.
Yeah, and we just want to point out here, some people may be wondering if there is no long minute. They did take into account the long minute in the third period, did the math, and with the extra time they started with when we came back in that second period.
So again, nobody's getting shortchanged. Tendy has it. Wrap attempt perhaps, holds on to it, looking to kill the clock. Composure on the verge of getting back into this series. Chance here. over the line. 3 seconds to go. Regs has it, can't get the pass over. And just like that, Composure are back in this series. A 1-0 victory in Game 3. So, Sin, we will not be seeing the end of this series here tonight. Again, depending on how this goes, we don't yet know what series will be covered Sunday night. We're going to try to make sure that we bring to you the most interesting series to cover at that point in time. But needless to say, there's a pretty good opportunity that it is going to be this series that you end up seeing on that broadcast on Sunday, because what an interesting first 3 games we have seen. And again, that game as well, Composure, in terms of that firepower, the high-powered offense, we really haven't seen it on display. But that timeout, 1 goal was enough. You have Hart picking up a shutout. You never really know what we're going to get here on a game-to-game basis based off of how this has gone thus far.
No, absolutely not. And I think I mentioned at one point, you can't count on your goaltender to win you those 1-0 games. Well, in that case, Composure just won a 1-0 game. So I will eat my words right there. The shutout master of the regular season tacks on a shutout here in the playoffs. Great job from Hart there to shut the door. Great job by Composure as a squad there to really rebound, keep the puck out of their net. And in this case, 1 goal was enough to win it, but that's still got to be a point for concern for them. Yes, you picked up the win. Every single win matters, but you've still only been able to score 1 goal in each of these games. You have to find a way to be able to solve Shekel here. He's been incredible. You got the win right there, but as I said before, I mean, Composure maybe the best they can hope for here with how the series has gone is a 3-1. I think I might still hold to that, because Entourage getting skunked doesn't happen too often for them offensively. And unless Composure comes out with probably their best effort here in Game 4 to try to even this series back up, I see Entourage coming back with a huge response and a momentum game for them and being able to take that stranglehold on the series. So that was pretty much a must-win game for Composure. You can't go down 3-0 against Entourage. They come away with the win. You have a tiny bit of breathing room here. You got to collect yourself. And like I said, your best game of the season has to come up here in Game 4.
Absolutely. And again, going to be very intrigued to see how this one goes down. Game 4 coming up for you in just a matter of moments, the final game of this broadcast. But again, we want to remind you, of course, we will be back on Sunday night as we continue to track the NACL playoffs here through the first round all the way up until the final. Again, you make it to the Final Four, the second round guaranteed some money. From there on out, though, it's up to you how much you ultimately take home. A friendly reminder, as well, as you have been seeing in the Twitch chat all night long, this broadcast in association with hockeytohelp.net. Check that out if you haven't already. Again, every $1 in donations provides 2 meals for a struggling family in North America through the Second Harvest in Canada and Volunteers of America in the U.S. So feel free to check that out. And again, any and all donations more than welcome, more than appreciated. As you get another look at the lineups here, it is the belief that we will be sticking with the same 6 or the same 12, combined with the same 6 on each side heading into this series. There was a bit of a wonder if it was going to be different for the Entourage side. And I got to be honest, I mean, if I were them, I'd probably prioritize this, because again, you have an opportunity to take a commanding 3-1 lead. I know that ultimately Composure finished 4th in the league, but again, the league's top offense, you have a chance here to take that 3-1 series lead. You got to make the most of it.
Absolutely. And Entourage, like I said, we're going to see them come out hard. They can't be happy about losing a 1-0 game, especially with their prolific offense and their high-powered transition game. They're going to try to have one of their best games of this series, though it's hard to top that, that game 1 and 2. But Composure, they're going to have to be prepared for the onslaught that Entourage will want to unleash upon them, and really be able to answer back here and try to even this series up. It's a tall order, but if they do it, it's a whole new series.
Sin, you set the stage perfectly. We are good to go. Game 4 of this best of 7. Again, a reminder, this will be the last game that we cover for you here tonight. We may indeed see this team or this series, these two teams covered again on Sunday evening. Again, NHLGamer.com, the info that you're going to need, all the info that you need is that in there. Again, our expert predicted a 2-2 series split. So we'll see if ultimately that comes to fruition. The first goal going to be crucial here, thrown in front by Regs. We'll see what Composure can do on the counterattack, and the answer was not much as George was able to win that one back. So again, Composure, the league's top offense, neutralized thus far despite a victory in Game 3. See what Marco can do here. He's able to find Tendy. Bit of space to work with. Gets it back to the point. Mark shot, deflection, rebound. Chance was there, but Shekel does well to hold on to that and take away the opportunity.
Yeah, good early chances here from Composure. They're just going to have to try to keep building on that and keep the pressure on. If they can, keep the puck out of the hands of Entourage for as long as possible.
Big face-off win there for Jay Claus. Don't want to call it a rarity. He's done relatively well against the league's top centerman, as this one will be offside here in the early stages of this first period. Let's see again who's able to find that opening breakthrough. Right now, Entourage battling for that commanding 3-1 series lead. See if they're able to find it here. Again, that first goal going to be important as they drop it back to Regs. Love to get the defense involved in terms of trying to break down the blue line patrol. As this one on net, Hart turns it over. Loose puck battle, kicked out to the half wall. And now again recovered by Composure. Let's see what they can do here on this rush. Tendy has trouble. It ends up down in the Entourage zone, but they are able to maintain possession. See what Regs is able to do here on this counter attack. Takes the big hit from Mark. And ultimately that pass not successful, but still Composure on the attack. Regs able to recover. Take his time behind his own goal. See what happens here. Both teams still looking to establish an offensive foothold here. Sin Fisher might be able to do it. Has a chance. Circles back. Regs brings it down the half wall. One-timer from George is blocked. Tendy has a little bit of trouble, and Entourage is able to regain possession. We talked about it in the last game as well, so we finally saw a power play. We are back. You gotta love it. Power play opportunity. A 5-on-3. I love it. Composure, a huge chance here. A minute to work with on the 5-on-3. We'll see if they can take advantage, but a great job there by Jay Claus to kill a little bit of extra time before dumping that one down. So huge moment here, Sin. Right as we were talking about the discipline as that unfortunate crash occurred. See what happens here with Mark. Marco doesn't get the shot on target. Entourage able to clear. Sin, huge moment for Composure. Again, we talk about the lack of power play opportunities. You get a 5-on-3, unsuccessful, uncharacteristic from this offense, and still having trouble getting set up. Mark tries to bring it down low, recovered by Marco, but won back by Regs and cleared. Sin, that's going to get us back to 5-on-5. What a moment there for Entourage to survive that.
Yeah, very pearl clutching moment for them, and Composure just. They got set up a little bit, but maybe rushed that first chance on the 5-on-3 with more space. You have more time to set up.
Hendry just not able to pull that one through. George on the pinch, trying to make something happen, unable to do so. Composure just looked to maintain possession. 5.5 to go here in the first period. Puck turned back over in the neutral zone. See if they're able to find the pass here. Odie dishes it off. Couple of quick passes. Nick has it now. Great job by Entourage to patrol their own blue line. Marco finds space. Back to Mark at the point, now back down low again. Shot on, saved by Shekel, rebounds there, and he's able to find it. Marco nearly pouncing on that one. 3:49 remaining here in the first period.
Yeah, neither team to score so far, but some pretty, heart-stopping moments for both goalies in tight chances and some scary moments for either side. Entourage, though, winning some face-offs here into this game, and they could actually feed their transition game a lot more than it was as strong as it was in those first games. Them winning faceoffs now.
Big chance here. Shot on target. Second chance for Jay Claus. Still lose. Hart is able to cover it. So, Sim, we've seen that from Entourage a few times. The willingness to make the bank pass off the backboards nearly paid off there.
Yeah, and just as we were mentioning those heart-stopping opportunities, another one happens, and Hart back there able to swallow it up. But a scary moment for Composure there as Entourage looking for that quick strike.
Will be able to dump it in. Can Marco chase it down? He can't. Regs plays it perfectly. So we approach the final minute of play here. See what Regs can do. Dishes it off. Couple of quick passes to try and find the soft spot on the line. George doesn't pull the trigger. Chance for J Claws. Fisher still on it, unable to get a shot on net. Final 10 seconds, and Composure gets something on goal. Chance for Nick. Tries to cycle it, doesn't get it to work. Another chance for Nick. He's tripped. And Sin, that may have been a necessary penalty because Nick was absolutely looking to feed Marco there for the one-timer in the dying moments of the period.
Yeah, perhaps, but with 0.4 seconds left, I mean, could that have gone in? Usually in the last few seconds, you kind of want to, don't press any buttons on your controller when you're on defense, but at the same time, you were right. That could have been a dangerous opportunity. And as we saw, with Tyler Toffoli, yeah, sometimes less than a second is enough to score a goal. So their penalty kill has been good so far, but you'd hate to see, that penalty come back to bite them here in the next period. And I did want to bring up something. We do have some results in from some other games around the league. Vertigo topped montage moment in game 1 with a 7-0 shutout. Phantoms beat 6 Cents 3-2 in OT, and BBB topped Hidden Potential 2-1 in game 1. So there's some scores around the rest of the playoffs as those series get underway. But back to the action here. A power play for Composure.
What the hell was that? Is the most professional call I could possibly have there. Chance for Composure still. Shot off the post, still loose, and they score, but it's being waved off. What has the start to this period been? My goodness. On the line, gonna be waved off for goalie interference. I didn't even have time to make a joke about you bringing up Tyler Toffoli. What a turn of events. No goal on the play. One of the most bizarre 29 seconds to start a period I have ever seen. My goodness. Composure still on the power play. Mark in possession, dishes it off. D-to-D passes here. Mark still has it. Odie now looking for space, brings it into the corner, and a missed pass. 50 seconds to go on the power play. Not something you could afford to see. Again, Composure just not able to get it going with the man advantage. It's shocking as Odie has it again here. Shot on just wide. Just wide. Shekel didn't see that one until the last second. Odie back in possession. One-timer saved by Shekel. Robbing Tendy. We're back to 5-on-5. Fisher has it. Stretch pass finds Regs. Bit of space. What will he look to do with it? Throws it back in front. J Claws in possession, getting hounded by 2 players. And ultimately it'll be offside. I think Entourage will take that one as opposed to the alternative.
Yeah, that could have been a turnover and a quick rush back the other way. Great job by Composure's defense to just shove him out of the zone, just completely bodying him from getting some kind of pass off and another opportunity for his team in the offensive end.
They go for the big stretch pass again. Hendry not able to win that race. So again, risking an offensive zone win for Nick and Composure. Not a strategy I would expect them to take, especially in a scoreless game still, but the faceoffs are even 5-5, and Entourage come up with it. Sin, you talked about it. J Claw's doing a much better job in the faceoff circle. Hendry doing a good job of protecting here. Fisher now down in the corner, tries to send it back down low, banks off the skates of the defenseman. That was Mark on the play. But again, a broken play for Composure on the counterattack. We'll see what Entourage are able to do here. Again, up 2-1 in this series. Composure winning the last game, a 1-0 score, a late goal to decide that one. We'll see who can break through here. Again, these two teams very familiar with one another, so perhaps the close score lines not all that surprising. Entourage are back in possession here. Regs dumps this one in to the right of Hart. The bounce corralled well by Odie. He takes the big hit though. Chop down low, wrap chance doesn't go, still fought for, back to the point, George. One-timer blocked and ultimately covered. Actually, that might have made it to the net clean, but still a great job by Hart to keep Composure in a tied situation.
Yeah, that was a huge one-timer there on the left-hand side. Hendry put everything he had into that, but a good job positionally from Hart, and he swallows it up, gets the face off, and Composure wins it, starting back the other way.
That one-timer looked like it may have been blocked. I was trying to track it, little did I know. Hart had already made the save. Composure back in possession. They dish it up to the point. Throw it in front. Still loose off the pads of Shekel. He'll be able to clear, or to cover, I should say, with 10:08. A little bit of trouble for Entourage in terms of clearing the zone. And again, now we have another big defensive zone draw situation for J-Claws and Entourage. Let's see what they can do. Can they come up with it? The answer is yes. So a much better job for the centerman of Entourage in this game. Reg's not able to complete that pass. Both teams having to risk it a little bit with these passes. As a result, a lot of turnovers. Not all that surprising. 8.5 minutes to go here in the second period of Game 4. Offside is the call with 8:32 remaining. Sin, what's it going to take for either side at this point to find the breakthrough? Or are we going to have to wait until the third period yet again?
Well, that's tough to say, but I like the position for Composure. They're not down. It's hard to chase the game against Entourage, and when you're not down, obviously you have a good chance to get up, and here they go entering the zone.
Shot, loose puck, Marco scores! The patience to not immediately try to bury that one pays off, and Composure grab the lead here in the back half of the second period.
Yeah, and they're doing what I thought they might not have been able to do. It's far from over. It's still only one goal, but they have yet another lead against Entourage, who has not scored. They're going to start feeling the pressure here. As my partner Mike is muted still, so I will take over.
We're good to go. Don't worry. There was a sneeze. I care about audio quality. Fisher was unable to get that shot off on that last attempt. You got to love, Sin, when you just try to not blow out the eardrums of everyone listening. Then you hit the mute button again to unmute it, and your mic just says, no, let's make you look foolish. Speaking of looking foolish, you really can't say that. That would be unfair to the defense on that last goal, but Entourage, of course, going to be looking to get back into this one. This one going down for icing. Huge chance here. Again, we talked about J-Claws and his ability to battle back in this game in terms of the draws. Huge opportunity here. We talked about Entourage, their affinity for set plays off the draw. We'll see if they can get one here. They win it. Chance blocked. Great job by Odie. You saw how quick that movement was. You want to talk about a set play. It was on display there. Composure on the counter. Odie has it. Finds Mark. Doesn't get through. Loose puck down in the corner. Recovered again by Composure. Regs does a good job to get that one back. 4 minutes to play here in the second period. As he's able to find Hendry, he gets over the line. Chance, 3 men in his face, though. Now again recovered. Tendy finds Nick. Big spin. Marco scores! Composure have finally seemingly found their offensive touch. Saying they're up 2-0 here late in the second period.
Yeah, I mentioned they needed to have possibly their best game of the series, and well, they've already sort of done that. They've scored 2 in this one, and that front three is looking dangerous. Another turnover forced, another zone entry here for Composure. Can they get another one?
And they're not able to find the space. Nick unable to make the pass, though, in the recovery. 2 minutes to play here in the second period. Composure, their best performance thus far. I mean, interesting to say that when they won Game 3, but right now looking likely to tie this series up. We're going to see how Entourage responds. Scores is how they're going to respond. Broken play. Hendry alone in front. Sin, we have ourselves a game.
And that's like that, the quick strike ability of Entourage cutting that lead in half. A tough break for Composure. Not much Hart could do on that play. It's just Entourage with a great opportunistic goal.
Composure back on the attack. Marco in front. Tendy just couldn't pull the trigger. Marco again takes the hit, still trying to hold on to it. Tendy battling George. Marco, Tendy. Nick back in front. Huge save by Shekel. He plays it out to kill the clock. Composure might be looking back at that goal later on this evening with regret, or that lack of a goal. That save was spectacular at the end. Sin, we are set up for a very interesting third period here.
Yeah, extremely interesting. And just when you thought Composure was maybe starting to get a stranglehold on a game, Entourage comes right back with that transition and score a quick one there. Far from out of it. I don't think Entourage can be counted out of any game, really, unless they're down by about 5 or more. And even at that point, just how quickly they can score goals, you have to watch out for them. And Composure, definitely one of the better defensive teams, a great trap team in their own right. Entourage has been able to find ways to score on them throughout this series. Last game being an exception here, but in this one, only down by 1. Look for them to throw everything that they have at Composure here in the third.
We'll see what happens here again. Very interesting game up to this point. Fisher able to recover. J-Claws has it. Dishes it back to the point. Regs shot on, deflection bid for Fisher. Another chance, just doesn't go. Huge moment for Entourage. Another shot doesn't go. We'll see what happens here. Marco Can he find the space? He does. Cuts across the middle. Still looking. Brings it into the corner. Back up to the point. Odie takes a step, looking for space. Hit by Fisher, and Hendry able to recover. He's looking to find his way into the zone, and he does. And he hold on to it, circles back, now to the point. Regs has it, looking for the space, gets it in front, can't find J-Claws on the pass. So good opportunities for both teams thus far. Tendy will chase this one. Forward play battle there. Tendy comes up with it in front, can't get the shot off. J-Claws strips Nick of the puck, and now again it's Hendry fighting for it. Finds its way back to Regs in the neutral zone. So a very quick pace set already here in this third period. Marco over the blue line for Composure. Finds Nick. Looks to make the play. Tried to tuck it short side. Hit the side of the net. See what happens here. As Fisher drops it back. Maybe looks to slow it down a little bit. Ridiculous pace right now set by these two teams. J-Claws off the skates of Hendry. That close to a one-on-one opportunity with the goaltender. Chance here now again, though. Marco finds Nick. Back to the point. Mark can't get the pass through. May have been a shot attempt. Marco still has it, still fighting for it. The scramble. Nick sends it into the corner. Tendy battling for it. 9 minutes gone here in this third period of Game 4, and a ridiculous pace has been set as that pass results in an offside. 10:27 to go, Sid.
Yeah, and Entourage, I mean, we're kind of finding them on the ropes once again and just unable to start getting the offense consistently. And they're more of an opportunist team a lot of the times, and especially when they have a lead, they can start taking control of things. But now down, they really have to look for their opportunities. Composure not giving them a lot.
Odie on the half-wall shot, saved by Shekel. Decent attempt there to test the goaltender. George steps in, poked away, recovered. Big hit there, and again, Composure, great composure on display to wait for the passing opportunity. Nick feeds it to Tendy, now back again in the corner. Up to the point, Odie tries to get the pass through, can't do it. Tendy also can't fend off the pressure. Entourage back in control. 7.5 minutes remaining here in regulation. George on the half wall, tries to feed it down low, intercepted well. See what Composure can do. Can they get a clean pass out of the zone? They cannot. Intercepted. And into the zone is J-Claws. Loses it on the spinorama. And again, a quick change of possession. Marco tries to get past Regs. He does. Marco shot, scores! What a play by Marco to step away from Regs. He finds Tendy, and Composure get the goal that they need. They're back up by 2.
Back up by 2 with less than 6 remaining. That's a huge opportunity, and we're seeing just how good that front 3 is for Composure. Another strike, another 2-goal lead for them. That might just be enough here late in the third period. We're seeing Entourage in desperation mode, though. They need something.
J-Claws able to hold on to it. Less than 5 minutes to play. The pass in front doesn't go. Regs fighting for it. Good pressure here, but Composure able to hold on to it. Gonna get the outlet pass. Big hit by Fisher. Entourage back in possession. Pass through doesn't go. Risky play there from Hendry to try and find J-Claws. As again, it's Composure coming up with it. Tendy has it. Gets stripped of the puck. We'll see what Entourage can do on the counter. Fisher has a bit of trouble. Finds his way through. Can't get the pass to J-Claws. 2 minutes remaining here in the third period of Game 4. The final game of this broadcast, but I have a suspicion we'll be seeing the remainder of this series on Sunday night. As the big step up from Regs, no icing on the play. Tendy has it, final minute. Marco in the corner, willing to kill some time. Takes a huge hit. That's going to be a penalty, and all-or-nothing play from Entourage. Thrown back in front. Tendy somehow came up with that one. Sin, Composure goes to the power play. That's going to be Hendry to the box. As if it wasn't a dire enough situation for Entourage. Composure to the man advantage. Let's see what they can do here off the draw. Entourage is able to win it. They go for the quick out. I mean, at this point, you have to. George gives chase, chopped away. Quick pass up. Marco has space, tries to get around Regs, and he does. Back to Nick. He'll send it back to the defender. 30 seconds to play. Odie looking to kill time. Gets it down low to Tendy. He's able to do so. Marco just holds, doesn't go for the obvious pass. Dishes it back to the point. Composure doing what they have to do. Killing time here. And again, just cycling it around. Smart play. Tendy has it. Now Marco, they're going to look to shoot when you least expect it. In front for Nick. Scores on the backhand. Patrick Kane-esque hands. Composure have fought their way back and have tied this series up at 2 games apiece.
Just what incredible cycle game for them. Yes, they're on the power play, but the quick passes, they were working as a unit, knowing what needed to be done. Then a bit of style points there for Nick at the end. Just the back and forth deke, getting Shekel completely out of position and having pretty much an empty net to shoot out. A clear over the boards there, and are we seeing a timeout here? Maybe a little bit of manner coming out from Composure here towards the end, evening this series up after going down 2-0. Something that even myself, I kind of counted them out. And as they showed us here, that front three especially, never count Composure out of a game or out of a series, because here they are, 2 seconds from evening this series up at 2 games apiece.
You know, all in all, I mean, we've talked about this quite a bit, but at the end of the day, our expert got it right. He predicted a 2-2 split between these two teams. It looked very unlikely at times, but ultimately, despite the surprising starts, we are back even 2 games apiece. It's a best of 3 from here. And as I said, with our next broadcast, again, the game plan was to bring to you the most interesting series at that point. I can only assume that this will be the series that we are covering, especially based on some of the other results that we are hearing about thus far going on elsewhere in the first round of the playoffs. But again, a spectacular performance all in all. A great job by Composure. Puns aside, play on words aside, to keep their composure. And that's what we've seen on the European side of things as well. Champions, they don't get rattled. You can be down by 2 games in a series, by 3 games in a series. Really, it's, the old adage of it's not over until it's over is very appropriate. And Composure really showed that because, again, it was just a spectacular job by them. A rough start offensively. Really, in Game 3, it was only a 1-0 shutout victory. Yeah. And then in this game, the offense finally finds its touch. As you get a look there at the updated bracket thus far, number 1 seed Vertigo, a handling montage moment in their series. Again, the series that we covered for you tonight, at least the first 4 games, Composure and Entourage tied it 2 apiece. 6 Sense and Phantoms and a BBB as well. To again mention that BBB had the opportunity to pick whoever they wanted to play. Everyone did. They were the ones that broke the mold. They went after the 6 seed and hit the potential. They're up 1-0. As a result, 3-seeded 6 Sense takes on 7-seeded Phantoms, and that series is currently at a 1-1 split. So a spectacular job there. A very interesting start to this series again, as again, a great start for Entourage. I don't think they're out of it. It's tough to say exactly, what kind of went wrong there at the end, aside from Composure just getting some of those plays to go, because all in all, it was a very impressive team performance for Entourage. Shekel did, spectacularly well in, the 4 games throughout, but all in all, again, we're tied at 2 games apiece.
Yeah, and honestly, you can't really fault Shekel for any of those goals there in that last game. Yeah, he gave up the most he did, but I mean, that last one, how is he expected to make that save there? 1-on-1 with Nick, who had, 50 points? Good enough for 3rd in the entire NACL throughout the season. I mean, and again, Entourage is in full offense mode. They're trying to get some. They're also down a man. I mean, Shekel did fantastic throughout that series, but yeah, as you said, Composure, the ability to fight back, to come back in that one, and those second 2 games, games 3 and 4, we saw the exact reason why they had the number 1 rated offense and the number 1 rated defense. And I think they proved why they were those into both of those games. A 1-0 shutout, incredible defense. 4-1 win, you got your offensive guns going. This series just got a whole lot more interesting. And Entourage, after getting up that, 2-0, not going to be as easy as perhaps they thought it would be after Game 2.
Absolutely not. So again, going to be very intrigued to see how the rest of this series plays out. We will be back Sunday night with more coverage of the NACL playoffs. And again, right now the matchup undetermined. Have a feeling you are likely to see the conclusion of this series. Again, NHLgamer.com for all the information that you need on not only the NACL and what continues to go on with the playoffs there, but the European side of things as well. with the ECL. Sin and I will be back Thursday afternoon with the ECL's Elite Division, covering two of the top teams in that league, including the top team in the league. It's a very interesting matchup. Havu Gaming and A-Treads will also be covering a series between Galea Hockey and Brace Phantoms. Very much looking forward to that. So again, NHLGamer.com, the place you need for all the information, everything going on both sides of the pond. And again, we will be back here Sunday night, more NACL action as we continue to follow along with the postseason. For now, we will we'll end things on this note. Number one, drop the channel a follow if you haven't already done so. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter as well. And again, if you've somehow missed it, this stream was in association with hockey2help.net. Again, a 14-day long series of live streaming hockey action to help benefit COVID-19 relief efforts in both Canada with Second Harvest and in the United States with the Volunteers of America. Again, hockey2help.net, powered by GameStop. All the information that you need is there. Of course, some prizes. Every donation, even $1, goes a long, long way to helping those in need. And again, if you are generous enough to give, we do thank you very much. The link to that is in the chat right now. Sin, any parting words after a very interesting start to this postseason run?
No, I mean, if that's any indication of how these playoffs are going to go, all you viewers out there, you do not want to miss a single broadcast. So make sure you show up here Sunday for the conclusion probably of this series and just all the great playoff action we're going to have coming at you.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. We thank you as well for sticking with us through some of the technical issues that we unfortunately had tonight, the drop in game. These things happen, but again, we thank you very much for sticking with us. You can find Sin on Twitter at SimForTheWinProd, on YouTube and Twitch at SimForTheWin Productions. You can find me on YouTube, on Twitter, on Twitch, on Instagram, everywhere. Just search Tuki24. You will find me. Again, we thank you very much for supporting us, and we will see you all next time. A 2-2 split between Entourage and Composure. I have a feeling that series is going 7. We'll see you guys later. Stay safe. Have a good night.